YouTube, I'm back with another video today, and this time it's how to kickflip. I know I'm not the most consistent with kickflips, but I know the exact foot placement for both feet. I know everything to do. The only reason I'm not consistent is because I get really scared with things, and that's why I'm not the best with most things in how skateboarding. But anyways, here's the foot placement. So what you want to do with your feet is you want to put this foot right here, just in the middle of these two bolts right here, where you can kind of see it's kind of perpendicular, and you want it at a 45-degree angle. That right there will allow you to get a comfortable foot position and allow you to flick it right through the pocket of right here, and that'll give you your perfect flip. The next part is you want to get the your back foot kind of lined up exactly with your front foot. So wherever your front foot may be, you want it to be around the same area, and the reason why is if it's not, it'll try to flip in another direction that you don't want it to. So you want it to be lined up just like this. So just like the ollie, there's a lot of things that you have to worry about, and it's very pertinent that you practice all of these things, because if you don't, your muscles won't have the necessary means to be able to flick the board and carry it with you correctly, and it'll end up just looking like this, or it'll just do a single like half rotation, or it'll just flick out in front of you. You got to really practice these things, and the first thing you got to practice, especially if you haven't learned how to ollie very correctly yet, is you got to practice that pop with your feet in the same position that you would for just a normal kickflip, and you practice that over and over, so you get the muscle memory going at that exact pop with your feet in that position. And after you practice that for probably 15-20 minutes, you start practicing your flick. You want that flick right there every time to put your foot right in that same position that it needs to be in, right there, and you want it to flick straight through that pocket. If you flick it straight through the pocket, it'll bring the board up with you while flicking it at the same time. If you put it in any other position, like more up the board and down here, that's things that you would use for like a tray flip or double flip, and it doesn't flip the same, and it won't bring it up with you. So you want to get it right there and flick it right through the pocket, and practice that the same way 15-20 minutes straight through that pocket. Now the next part that you want to worry about is it's mainly a mental part with this one, and you want to be able to flick it like after you practice your flick, and you want to be able to catch it with one foot one time, and you want to be able to catch it with one foot another time, and you want to do that 10 times with each foot alternating. But you don't want to do this too much, because it'll actually build up your muscle memory to like flicking the board and then putting your foot down. So you want to be able to do this as lightly as possible, but enough to make you feel better about yourself when you're flicking the board. First example of this would be flicking it and catching it with just the front foot. You want to do that a couple of times, and that'll kind of get your bearings straight for wanting to be able to flick it with your front foot and get the feel for it. And the next one you want to do is you want to flick it and catch it with the back foot. That'll give you your muscle memory for knowing how to bring up your foot correctly to be able to land on the board. And you practice those, like I said, about 10 times, alternating from each one each time. And one more thing before we get into actually showing the kickflips is one thing that helped me, especially if you're afraid of standing on the board and you want to get getting the exercise for getting it into it. You want to stand here and probably practice the flick, and it works those muscles to be able to get used to it just the same as if you were on the board. And you want to practice the pop too when you do it, and it kind of looks like a ninja kick. And what you want to do when you do that is you get like the flick of the board, kind of rotation with your foot, rolling your ankle and dragging it, and then you get the feeling of the pop and bringing your feet up with you and landing just like this. Because if you start landing on your board like cross-eyed or anything like that, then you're starting to get into trouble, and you might want to practice this to get your feet to land straight. Anyways, we're into the kickflip now.
I give in to the lesser fight. My body aches to be satisfied. My weakness comes in and goes. My weakness comes and goes. I'm reaching out for the easy high.